Bitch.
Dude, I have Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I just said screw it. I'm just gonna
It just
start
sucks. Like one league, it's like I literally hold my own destiny. If I win, I'm in because two of the guys that I need to lose to get in are playing each other this week. So if I win, I guarantee to get into the playoffs. And then the other league, I don't have to win, I don't think. I think I'm good there. I could just move up a little bit more.
Wait a second. You guys aren't – this isn't your playoff week?
No. We only do 3 rounds of playoffs.
So – because this is my playoff week. We don't do week 17. We do week –
Well, how many teams do you have, though?
12.
Yeah, see, we have – our league started as a 12 and has – dwindled down to an 8 as we've lost people over the years. I mean, it's like one of the leagues I've been in, it's like 15 years going on now or something like that.
It's hard to keep a league going too, man.
Yeah. One of the leagues is new, but it's from the same commissioner that I've been in the same league with for a while. He just wanted to do another one because he had so many of his buddies that were wanting to join our league, and then nobody ever wanted to up it, and it turned into a dynasty league, and by that point it was too much to like bring new people in. So we've swapped a couple people as they've like left. We're like, hey, you get this team and this is your lineup if that's what you want to do, and you can like pick your keepers and draft from there. Usually people are like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, dude. I just was like, screw it. I'll set it and go. It's like it's a family league, so we just started the first year, and so like all the kids are in it, and they talk so much crap, talk so much. Just
nobody in our league really talks trash. I mean, we do a little bit, but not like a lot. We used to when it was just exclusively all people that like worked together because we would like see each other at work and shit. Oh, yeah, so I'd be like, I'm gonna take you down. Like it was like straight up like that show, The League, if you've ever seen that. Where they talk trash. That show's funny. You should check that out. It's a comedy that was on FX for about 7 seasons, but it's like all based. Well, it's like funny too because if you watch it now, it happened so long ago. Like you're dealing with like players like Maurice Jones-Drew and like remember that shit?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Was Sidney Rice or Sidney Rice?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like Aaron. What's the Andre Johnson was like the dude for like ever, and then who else? Who was that running back from Houston? He was like, he had like a goatee. He was like an undrafted free agent and was like the #1 pick like for like ever. Oh my God, what was his name?
Based on his name.
Oh, it was Turok. That's who it was. It was Turok. What's up, Manny? Okay, this is gonna bug me. He was in that movie with Home Dude and Draft Day. Draft Day cast. Okay. I got it. Where that was Diddy in that movie too?
Diddy.
Arian Foster.
Oh, Arian Foster. Yeah, I remember him. He was like a big name for a while.
Dude, he was amazing, man. Yeah, here, I'm gonna do stats. I know this has nothing to do with comic books, but yeah, Arian Foster went to University of Tennessee, undrafted free agent. And he was so good. 4 times Pro Bowl, second team All-Pro 2011, 2010. He was only in the league for 7 years. Holy cow. I just remember he was hella fast. That's all I remember.
Well, I don't remember if he got hurt or if just he was like one of those running backs that kind of faded out.
Yeah, dude, 2010 was his best year. 1,600 yards. And then look at this. 351. The next year, 121. He only played 8 games. 15 T. Dude, these years were like the years to get him, and then like he just faltered. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, correct. Turok is always there. What's up, Matrix? Matrix putting out some good stuff on Instagram, peeps. Yeah, 5 minutes in. Thanks everyone for coming through. Hit that like button. Helps with the algorithm and getting people into the show. Or we can do bigger giveaways. We're doing a slab giveaway today. Crazy enough. I'm not revealing what the comic book is until the winner gets it. But anyway, yeah. What's going on, Spidey guy Murph? Thanks for joining, man. Pacific Coast.
I didn't see whether or not Matrix followed up with his post. I believe I saw on his Instagram story or possibly on his page that he posted about picking up a Grail that usually doesn't pop up, like a ghost book, for a steal.
Yeah.
I didn't see the follow up whether what book it was. I think he had said he was gonna like post once, maybe it's like once he received it or something like that. But I never saw.
He got some book that they mentioned on the Wednesday show, Brian's Wednesday show. Shout out to Brian. It was like a lot. It was a lot of I want to say it was like the Crow lot. It was like mislabeled really bad, and he got like a 1 through 7 or like some pretty good. Oh, he's posting it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he got like a really good deal, like on a lot of Crow books, which I didn't think of including in this list of like 10 to 15 books, or I guess series of books that we're talking about today. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I'm sorry.
No, the one that it's like I think I told you before, I was like, it just bums me out about the only thing that bums me out about the Crow is that there's like an entire generation of kids now that are going to come up with that Skarsgård kid that played Pennywise as their Crow, and I'm like, it's Brandon Lee, dude.
Did you like him though, the Skarsgård guy in John Wick 4 as a villain?
So oddly enough, I just because I had realized I started it one night. I think once it came out digitally because I didn't get to see it in the theater. I bought it, and then I think after work on a Friday, which I get off at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I tried watching it, and I had to shut it off like an hour before it was over. I was just like, I'm like, I can't make it. And,
it's a very long movie, dude.
Well, yeah, I forgot that I had stopped it, and somebody had mentioned it, and I was like, I don't think I ever finished that. So I went and rewatched it last Sunday and finished it. I liked him as a villain, but I'm just like those. There's always those villains that are just like, they're not tough. They're just like those freaking like the character themselves like puffs up their chest and acts tough because they have power, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But it's just like
they're just mindfully like badass. They're not like Kingpin where he actually has like superpowers, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And they made him French too.
That's right. that was their first mistake. No, man. Yeah, I've never read The Crow, any of those horror genres, like personally. And it's just more of like it's on my list to like read and all that. Especially with just like not that many good titles I'm reading right now. I tried reading Ghost Rider. Like I guess I got into it too late, and then I think I got. No, man, Michael, you're good. We're just kind of BSing right now until we get into the slides. We're waiting for Fedora too. So, but yeah, I should probably read those like digital or something like that.
Where do you think he's going to come in at? Is he going to be in the hall? Like, do we get to start the journey with him when Fedora comes on? Do you think he's going to be because like sometimes he's like just leaving and we get to see him in the hallways and stuff. Sometimes he's already out in the streets. Like sometimes he might already be like, sometimes he's already got drink and food like with him before he shows up.
This is what I think. I think that he just woke up about a half hour ago, or actually he's on the road. I think he hasn't eaten anything yet though, but I believe he's on the road.
Do we got a Vegas line on this?
Yes.
Any takers? We only bet comics on this. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's a great question, man.
No, I just know like sometimes we catch him. Like sometimes we get to start the journey of the day with him. Sometimes it's like he's in transit.
In transit, correct? Yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know. I got us sidetracked.
No,
How about that Lakers last night
winning
them Lakers last night winning the nothing bowl. They were like popping champagne in the locker rooms for winning the in-season tournament, which I still didn't even really understand what the hell it was.
I don't even watch the NBA.
It's like as fans, what are we supposed to say to that? Like you guys are playing for an extra $500,000 a piece. Like, woo!
Does it count against the regular season?
Huh?
Does it count against the regular season too?
So all they did was like build it. So they're just regular season games. So they're all counting towards their normal wins and losses, but they selected particular games for this in-season tournament. And then they like whittled their way down. And last night it was the Pacers and the Lakers were the two teams in the championship, and the Lakers got them.
Jason, can you see Fedora right now?
No, I don't see like I still have that weird thing where it's like I can't.
Okay,
even
so
see
what do you
the
think?
chat and all that.
Where do you think he's at? What's your consensus? I said he was out on the street, and he's not.
No,
He's inside. He's on his descent into the metropolis of New York City. What's up, Fedora? You're on mute.
I knew that. I don't know anything about the Lakers.
I don't think about the Lakers.
It was worthless. They were popping champagne bottles in the locker room for nothing. It's like,
Dude.
okay, so you guys all won an extra $500,000 a piece. Like, as fans, what are we supposed to say to that?
I like the Bulls. That's the only basketball team I support.
Forget basketball for a second, man. Shohei Ohtani signs for $1 billion yesterday.
Essentially, right? Because they had to give him what did they have to give him high so he could get the $700 million? Because they have to tax it.
They deferred his income, so his salary is deferred. I don't know the exact figures, but
he makes.
This is why. What?
Well, they compared his Sports Center when they announced it. They were comparing his contract to other people, and it was like they put him or his contract, just this one, against LeBron's career earnings, and he's double in this one contract.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, $700 million. LeBron's at about just under $500 million, I think, for his entire career, and he's been playing basketball for 60 years now or something.
He's been playing basketball since
almost
I was
20.
in high school.
He was
he came in at 18, and he's 40, almost 40 now.
Almost 40, 41. I don't know. Oh, and he's not 41. He's not our age.
That's crazy.
He's 38.
This is why you cannot trust fucking Twitter. There was so much bullshit about John Morosi. Dude, you suck, man. He was making reports that he was in Toronto.
I saw some reports
he was going to Chicago. There's that stupid fucking there's that stupid report on Reddit about Seattle offering him $60 million for 1 year. Social media fucking sucks, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
I almost left Twitter just because of all the bullshit. And I wasn't really believing it. It was more entertainment. But the fact that
realistically, there's
reporter.
only 4 teams that could afford him though, right? The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, and what's that other rich team? Red Sox. I know they got a lot of money, but
I mean, Chicago, the Cubs you could throw in there. San Francisco's the richest city in America, there's a lot of teams that could pay for him.
They had some pretty funny memes about it though too. They're
oh my god, they were hilarious. The memes were great.
Ballpark beers are about to be $49.99 at Dodger Stadium. What's it going to cost for a Dodger dog?
You think that's going to go up? I don't know the economics of baseball, but
they have to do it in preseason, right? So the Mariners up their ticket prices for season ticket holders because they usually sell 2 months prior to now because they have to figure out their budget for the upcoming year. And then into the winter meetings. But here's Spidey guy Murph. You make roughly 45 million a year with deferred payments, and that has his choice so that they can get more players. Yada yada. Sign in the back, man. I mean, A-Rod. I mean, we went through kind of the same thing in Seattle. A-Rod was oh, I want to play with a good team. Yada yada. I don't think anyone in Seattle would have been upset if he went to the Yankees, for example, right? We ends up going to the Texas Rangers. And for $250,000 or $250 million back then, which was insane. So stab in the back, yeah, for sure. But I guess money talks, man.
A-Rod won a chip though, right? So
2009 with the Yankees, but
yeah. I mean, so it was worth it.
I think you know what. Before we'll get into I know you guys don't care about baseball, or some.
I don't care about baseball, even though I got the.
Oh man, you like a rocket. So. Here's the funny thing, and Soupy, this is why I got respect for you. All the fucking lame-ass Angel fans, not you, Soupy, but just the die-hard, quote-unquote, Angel fans that are saying, Ohtani to the Dodgers. Oh, my God, I'm so happy. Yeah, fuck you, OC. You fucking went from an Angels fan to Dodger fan overnight just because Shohei signed with the Dodgers. Fuck you.
They Shohei
the player,
fans
not
now.
the team.
Yeah, they're Dodger fans all of a sudden. So
yeah, it's I watched Griffey while he was a Mariner, but I didn't start rooting for the Reds when he went there.
And in high school,
I was thank you, Griffey, and I was fuck the Reds.
Yeah,
high school kids used to say, I'm not a Cleveland fan, I'm a LeBron fan.
That's actually a good thing, right? Because who wants to go to Cleveland? You know what I mean?
I did like that. I saw one that was like because of the Toronto speculation. They're like Drake's about to go into the studio and write a diss track.
Fuck Drake too, man. Dude, I'm just glad. This is what I'm happy about. He's out of the AL. He's not. He's not a Ranger that would have just killed the franchise.
So here's
what if the Astros picked him up?
Or the Astros?
Ugh.
They're a quote unquote small market too, supposedly. But man, I don't believe that small market bullshit for a second. Unless you're Oakland, but they're moving to Vegas.
I can't remember.
The Houston Astros are moving to Vegas?
Oh no, the Oakland A's are moving to Vegas.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Yo, my man Billy Bean, rest in peace. Wait, Billy Bean is going with them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a part owner.
Is he? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jason?
He's gonna die with that team.
I can't remember. Did the National League adopt the DH too? Okay.
Oh, like
I was
years
like,
ago.
as soon as I saw that, I was just like, "Well,
what
like,
the hell is a DH?
I
I don't know anything about like baseball. What is a DH? It's like a double hitter, designated hitter.
Designated hitter. He just hits. He doesn't field a base or anything like that. And I'm not gonna shame you for living in New York and not know what a DH is, but
I don't.
It's okay. It's all right, man. It's all good. You know, it's a good question. If you don't know, you don't know, right? You know what I mean?
God, listen, I don't pretend to know anything.
I love you ask the question.
So designated hitter, like how does that work? So he just hits, that's it?
He just hits. He doesn't play.
Does he run to the base, or does somebody else replace him on the base? Is that a thing?
You can put a pinch runner in, but it's like you can't that you pull basically when you pinch run for somebody, that person that you pinch run for can't play anymore.
Do you remember like back in like elementary school when like someone didn't want to run? They're just like,
as long as you got to first base, you're like, we'll get you a runner. It's cool.
Okay. So if Ohtani gets to first base, like he's gonna, they're gonna go.
He's still a runner. He just bats the whole game. He bats the whole game. Doesn't do anything but bat.
So for $700 million, they're gonna have this guy just bat.
Well, he's gonna pitch supposedly next year, but yeah, it's a huge risk, man. I mean, I don't like people are like, that's a huge risk. It's not my fucking money. I don't give a shit. Like
I saw that and I was like, Jesus. I was like, why did you just bump into a cool building?
That they signed for like a ridiculous amount of money, and then he got injured, and then his career was over. I think he was on like the Mets or some shit. Y'all know this. Y'all know this guy, and he's still getting paid off their dollar.
Bobby Bonilla?
I don't fucking know.
He still gets paid every July 2nd or something like that.
He didn't get injured. He was just like he's just being paid for like 25 years.
Yeah, their contract that they set up fucking guaranteed him all this stuff, and it was like,
that's the funniest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, he still gets paid. Like I get ESPN updates every year. It's like Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. I'm like, woo.
Real quick,
why we celebrated him getting paid?
He gets like
funny.
1 point.
He's been retired for like
every year.
25 years. So, shout out real quick to Malanan and Manga. If you guys have Fedora, you'd probably kick it with this crew here. They're
Melanin and Manga.
Yeah.
You said Malanan.
I don't know why I said that. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, they have a YouTube channel. They just actually won an award for the next big YouTube channel. Pretty cool stuff. I've watched them a few times, gone their live. Give them a follow and all the good stuff. Post your guys' link in the chat. We'll have some follows.
I have Melanin and I do read manga.
Yeah, you guys would definitely get some good stuff together. I don't know what I'm trying to say, man. It's early this morning. Anyway, real quick, I want to say thanks everyone for joining us today. We do have a slab giveaway at the end of the show today. Got 8 lives so far on the first weekend for some fantasy football owners playoffs, including myself. I'm stressed. I don't really care, but I do want to win that championship belt.
What is fantasy football playoffs?
So like fantasy football, it's playoffs for fantasy football today. Like
how is there a playoffs for like fantasy?
Like so
No, I'm being serious. I don't know. I don't know about sports.
I'll tell you later. I can't explain this all. I got a headache.
Okay,
Wait, hold on, Fedora. You're eating a Snickers bar. You're not getting pizza, no hot dog, no nothing.
Nah, I just got bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll back there.
Okay, all right.
I
Here
just
we
muted
go.
it. I'm at the deli.
Dude, Fedora, you got to rename your shit to Fedora Eats for now.
Nah, this is not like a Snickers bar. It's a Joyva. It's chocolate covered jelly.
I want to also point this out too. Spidey Guy Murph just points out really, and then we'll get into the show. He is him being playing as well as he is right now. Hence, he's injured or whatnot, right? We're so lucky to be watching him play at a high elite level. This guy's once every literally century type of player. So I think everyone should just enjoy baseball. Enjoy
once every 500 years.
Literally. And the U.S. hasn't even been around for that long. So just think about that. And he's a Japanese player, man. I mean, more international players to this or fans of the sport, more power to you if you're a baseball fan.
That baseball classic was like insane. I don't even watch sports, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Exactly.
Well, now the attention's going to turn to the other young kid from Japan.
Which one?
That's the one that entered I forget his name. The one the pitcher or whatever. That young kid.
He's like 21 or something like that, right?
Yeah,
he won
he pitched for the World Baseball.
Yeah. I know he's
champions this year, but he's like
he sounded like a contract.
Shohei were like the two big like
Rico
pitchers, I guess, that we're looking to go. I think he hasn't gone anywhere yet, though.
No, there's another dude that's even more.
I don't know why I know this, but I think he signed a contract where he can't like play for MLB until he hits like a certain age.
I don't know why it's taken till this long to like have this boom in like Asian players in baseball over here either. Like, it's like it kind of started with Ichiro, but then it's been a slow trickle, and I don't know if it's just because of the contracts overseas and like kind of how they run their organizations or whatnot. Like, I don't know all the semantics about it, but like
from what I understand, a lot of the Asian leagues signed them to like contracts so where they can't play in the MLB. They have to play like a certain amount of years in Japan before they could go to the MLB. That somebody told me that. I don't know anything.
I mean, that makes sense. They're like, you give us your good years, and then you can go play over there and spend your twilight years and still.
Well, no, it's like baseball. So no, real quick. So we'll get into the show in a little bit, guys. But this is the guy. Are you talking about this guy, Roki Sasaki?
Yes,
he's 22, but he can't. He hasn't been posted yet, but he's requesting to be posted.
Oh, okay.
And these guys, when they get posted, they're coming over here in their prime at 25 years old. Because they're
gonna give him 500 million.
They're gonna give him 7.1 billion when he gets signed.
So you gotta one up the contract.
Yeah, so you have to.
Yeah. He's only a pitcher though. He's not 2A. He's a pitcher.
I mean, like we're steps away from seeing our first $1 billion contract.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? Like somebody's gonna get it within my lifetime. I know it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm all for it. Capitalism. Anyway. Well, back into comic books, everyone, and now we're.
I have an official comic announcement.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Iron Fist 14 is back, baby.
In other news, Iron
Fist 14 is back on the trending list, baby.
Yeah. I never thought it was gone, but yeah,
I thought it was gone. I thought it was gone forever.
All right, well, let's sell your Iron Fist 14s.
Whoa.
Let's take it down a little bit. Do you have one, Jason? Of an Iron Fist 14?
I do not know.
I
only have a first. I've got the first appearance of Iron Fist, but not the Sabretooth one.
Okay. So I haven't been grading as much because it just costs too much to grade. I've been very picky. I've just been doing like PC books and like, I have a really like high grade. I want to get autographed by so and so. Jason, have you been grading a lot lately? I don't think you have.
No, the last stuff I had graded was all the stuff that came back that disappointed. Well, not all of them disappointed me, but I mean, like getting a 9.6 on a New Mutants 98 and a 9.6 on a Hulk 340. It's just like, I'm like, that's bullshit. It's like half the time I'm just like, especially when they're with grading, I'm like, how much of this is like you want me to like resubmit those books to try and get that 9.8, and how much of it is because it's a crapshoot whether you're going to get graders notes anywhere from like a 9.0 up. Like sometimes I've seen 9.0s and they don't even have graders notes. It's like unavailable. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's turned into like there's no explanation whatsoever for like
None
why
of
it's
none,
96
none of my
or
books have
whatever.
graders notes. None of them.
I don't even like, you know, I don't even. It's the risk we take, right? But the fallback on that is that we're probably less likely to grade stuff. And I mean, here there's two reasons usually people will grade a book, right? One, preservation of something that they really hold dear to themselves, and they want to know, they want that encapsulation of the grade, right? And then two, they want to sell it, they want to flip it, or you know, whatever. I've been noticing that CGC's been a little bit harsher on grades lately, and the market's saying 9, 8, or nothing for a lot of books, unless
yeah.
it's like some of the
It's
books
like,
that we're looking at today.
Yeah, some of them are like a difference of $1,000, like between
Yeah.
a 9.8 and a 9.6.
So I think when I see those prices, it's like, well, this book is from 2018, like it should be a 9.8, guaranteed, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of, I mean, honestly, that's kind of my assumption as well. If I have a, if I'm getting a modern book in 9.6, I'm not paying anything close to 9.8 for it, for whatever reason. It's just expectations, right? But I still think there are some books that you can grade and make some money and kind of risk that lower grade or whatnot. There's others you shouldn't even like try and get a 9.8 in. You're just wasting your money. You know what I mean? So actually, Fedora, you kind of inspired me about this show.
Oh,
But
thank you.
you inspire me about everything, a lot of things. Jason doesn't inspire me to do shit. So
Jason, you inspired me to look into fantasy football. Yeah.
I didn't play it for the longest
the
time. Like, I
greatest
had no
quote
idea
of
what
all
it was
time.
until they drugged me into it at work and got me into my first league like
That's
15
what he
years
said
ago or
That's
whatever.
what he said about drugs when he first tried. They drug him into it at work, and now look at him.
Yes.
Wait, really?
No.
Only for fantasy football.
Well, Jason actually is the first person to get me high in my life. But anyway.
Really?
Yeah, yes, he is. Right down the park, right down the street, right? Remember in the Coke can? Anyway.
I don't know if it worked, man. Like, I just feel kind of tired and kind of hungry. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Anyway, you got, and everyone, again, I want to thank everyone for coming through the show today. We got 11 live. We are doing a slab giveaway at the end. I did not reveal what the book is. If you guys could hit that like, subscribe.
I don't even know what the book is.
No one knows what the book is. I don't even know what
is it. Not the one that's in the picture?
It is, but I didn't.
He didn't show the book.
Oh, I saw. I know what it is.
What you call it? We lost 3 subscribers in the past week, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but we're almost at 500. Hopefully, we'll get there one day, or I'm canceling.
What if the accounts got deleted?
Oh, that might be true. I just like 3 in the past week. Like, what? Who did I offend? Anyway, if you guys play Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, let me know. I hate that game, but I love it. I play it. I'll stream every once in a while and all that good stuff. But
anyway. Yeah, I know. I hopped onto your stream and told you to learn how to drive.
I was driving zombies.
You're driving your vehicle around.
All right, first book we got. Okay, so this isn't a hate on the movie. All of these books that I'm talking about, it's not hate on the movie. It's not like Carol Danvers is an idiot, all that stuff.
Oh.
It's just that the books are not doing well in these platforms for what I've seen. So Jason and I went and saw the Marvels movie. I think we both enjoyed it. I don't think we were like loving it so much. But I took a look at the comic books after the show, and they've dropped significantly. That second print, Captain Marvel number 17, first appearance of Kamala, it's like sub 1000s. Almost 9. I think 900 was the last one I saw. Miss Marvel
was like a raw copy of it for like a claim sale on Instagram, like $40 near mint or something like that.
Jesus Christ, right? So like it's just not doing well. I think Carol Danvers, just like the public collectors, just don't dig her. They don't like her. I think readers still like the character, like reading the book, but obviously you all know in the chat, like her books were getting pushed because of the MCU. And when you have the worst box office performance of any MCU movie in history, it's gonna translate into the comic book as well. I liked Monica Rambeau personally, and I'm not gonna pick up her first appearance, and Kamala's great. Like I think she's a great actress. She's funny. It's too campy of a show for me to like want to buy books for. That's just my personal take. Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, like I'm not really. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, like you said. I wasn't like blown away by it or anything like that, but it held my attention. It moved along smoothly. Like I didn't really care for the villain much, but
yeah.
Other than that, like it was a decent outing. Like I wasn't upset that I spent the money like to watch it or anything like that. So, but it doesn't make, like you said, it doesn't make me want to like rush out and get anything, even like the Miss Marvel show or anything like that. Like I'd be more apt, because I like thoroughly enjoyed both seasons of Loki. I was like, I would say that show is one that I'd be like, oh yeah, I might pick up books because of that or something like that.
Yeah.
But this one, while I found the show entertaining, like it wasn't anything where I was just like, yeah, I need to get stuff because this character is going to be huge or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, she'll be around for a while, but I think it's just more of a sit back, watch, and enjoy kind of thing for me, as opposed to buying anything.
100%, man. And Fedora, 2 questions. One, have you seen this? Is this like, are customers like waiting for like the trade paperback of any Marvel's stuff? And what the hell are you eating right now?
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yum. Is it good?
The New Yorkers, of course.
Is it a bagel or is it, what is it on?
It's on a roll.
It's on a, I gotta see this.
See, because like, man, New York's
this.
so friggin' lucky because you've got all those bodegas that have like the straight up like food areas in them. We don't have that. Like I go to a corner shop and it's just like, I'm lucky to find product that's like within date.
Yeah, I was at one bodega and the Ock used to have the grill on for like 24 hours. It was a 24-hour bodega. Ock had the grill on 24/7.
The Aki way, that dude?
No one says that. No one says that. Don't ever. Don't.
The Aki way?
Don't ever say that. Yo, I promise you, please don't say that. Bird, I'm trying to save you from looking like a jerk. Don't, please. I swear to God, don't say. No one says that.
So wait, so if I go to New York next year in April, and I say, I go to a bodega, I go, can I have this the Aki way? Are they gonna like
kick you out? They will kick you out. I swear to fucking God, they will kick you out.
Like it's gonna be like that scene from Do the Right Thing where he's like, "Get the fuck out!"
Yeah.
Fedora, are kids trying to buy this book?
No.
All right, moving on to the next.
No, absolutely not. No, even like I knew this one woman. She comes in and she only buys Captain Marvel, and then she was like, "Yo, the last run was garbage." And she was wearing a Captain Marvel jacket.
Okay.
I had a Captain Marvel shirt under the jacket, holding Captain Marvel comics. So if she says it's garbage, like
it's probably garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say this is a garbage book to read. This is 100% a great read. I'll die on my bed or whatever, you know, and say, yeah, it's a great story. Read it. I've read it many times. It's one of my top 5 reads of all time. Buying this book and grading it raw. So getting this book raw, it's just too risky at this point, man. You're going to pay $400 to $500 for it. It's super tough and high grade. I have a 9.6 myself that I'm actually posting on eBay tonight just because I'm trying to clear out some stuff. The MCU option news at this point, after watching Marvels, I just don't see him coming. I don't see him coming for 5, 10, 15, 50 years. All the stuff that I've been hearing or reading.
Denzel Washington.
I mean, like, dude, it doesn't make any sense. How are you going to introduce him? He's not on the comic books, really. He was in the new Thanos show or comic book, but it's just I don't see him coming through, and the prices don't justify the raw copies that people are paying to try and get a 9.8. 9.8s go for like $900, which is still crazy to me. But teach his own. Fedora, have you read this? Have you read this series 1 through 5 at all?
No.
Do you like the character?
I've only ever known the character. I remember when the book came out, and I didn't even know who he was, so I didn't bother reading it. But I've never seen a trade of it.
Yeah, the trades are like $200. Super short print. This book. Jason, did you like the story?
Yeah, I really liked the story. I thought it was, especially for like the time frame that it came out, it was kind of like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
like
diamond in the rough.
A lot of stuff there was a lot of stuff coming out where I was just kind of like, like the story's just not there for me or whatever. And this was like only like 6 books or something like that.
5-book miniseries.
5 books.
Super short print run. I've seen people still find this in like back issue bins raw, But yeah, like
south you can find them. I'm sure there's probably a ton down there.
where down south?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, man. Yeah, and again, this show isn't like this is a stupid book or like this is like this, this character is like a dumb Marvel character. It's just the market saying like this is tough to justify.
We're policing the community.
We're just making them aware.
Policing. Wait, was that one guy came in here?
What's that?
The
I know. He goes into bodegas and says the Aki way. That guy that was talking about police.
You just literally like triggered me. I'm like,
I know. I'll never do it again. I promise. I didn't know.
No, you could make jokes about it. I just you don't do it. You don't do it. It's fine.
I don't think I ever want to go into the shop and say the Aki way, but
no,
I will say this. I will say this though. I am curious to like try a sandwich that way.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I just want to go. Can I be there if you say it to somebody there? Because I've never seen a grown man get thrown out of a bodega establishment before,
with smiling teeth. Smiling. Dude, Jason, I'm going to New York, or I'm going to the East Coast in April. If you want to come.
This April, I'll be in Vegas. I got that.
You're gonna be in Vegas for a whole month. You're gonna be
not the whole month, but I already have a trip planned in April to go to Vegas for that Sick New World Festival.
Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever, man. Okay, Fedora, I'm gonna be on the East Coast. I'll probably spend a day in New York. We'll link up. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you a bacon, egg, and cheese and a chopped cheese.
Oh my fucking god, I can't wait. I want Jewish deli meat food. That's just like they don't have that here.
You want to go to Katz?
No, I've been to Katz before. I want to go somewhere like.
Have you?
Yeah.
I
was
walked
just a tourist trap.
I walked into like this old like Jewish like deli, and I saw Danny DeVito sitting down eating an egg, like a boiled egg. I swear to God.
Whoa, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, he was just sitting there eating a boiled egg, and I was like, "That's
crazy, man." New York's a crazy place, dude.
Anyways,
no, it's all good. Donnie Cates spec. So, like, this is like a tough one for me because Donnie Cates is back on Twitter, or supposedly he's back on Twitter. He's tweeting out some stuff, and I was playing the Spider-Man game. I beat it. If you guys haven't played it, there's a lot of null references in there. So I'm not
shout outs to that guy who gave me that book, bro. If you watching, bro.
Who is the guy that gave you the book?
He doesn't leave any comments in the thing.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Henry. Henry.
Henry.
He followed me.
Henry. Say something in the chat. We'll send you something. We'll send you a sandwich. Bro. Not the Aki way. Not the Aki way.
Bro, that dude is a legend. And he said he was coming to New York City. So, if you ever in New York City, we outside. #.
We outside. You know who else is outside? Philip Chun. He's on the East Coast too. Woo.
Philip Chun, pull up. Anyways, back to Donnie Cates. I'm muting my mic now.
No, you're good. So Donnie Cates, right? So he was like the dude. I mean, as much as like I think he's an interesting fellow, I'll just say that. He was the writer during the pandemic that everyone just scooped up all his stuff. I don't know when he's coming back to write books again, but I think that buying books for Donnie Cates and grading them or finding 9/8 for like the cost to grade a book isn't a bad idea at the prices we're at now. Because if he starts writing again and goes back to like Null or the Black Winter and rebirths those villains specifically, not heroes, but villains, and he kills it again, it might be not a bad idea. I could see his Hulk run was horrible. Do not buy any of the Hulk Donnie Cates spec graded or submit it for grading. I can't also forgive what he did in Null as well. But hopefully he brings them back. I mean, I remember I tweeted at Donnie Cates asked like, is Null gonna come back? And he said something like, "What if Dark never dies?" Which I basically saying like, yeah, it's possible. And yeah, he does think he's a rock star, that's for sure. And I don't know, man. I still have Venom 3 third prints autographed times like 4, I think 9.8. And I'll still pick them up and submit them for grading. Personally, myself. Jason, I know you have a couple Venom 3s, correct?
Yeah, I've got well, I used to have 3 of them. I sold one. I sold the convention black and white one.
Yeah.
But they were all double signed. I got a.
Wait, y'all got some signed?
Yeah, I got a few.
Whoa, I gotta get mine signed now.
Cates and Stegman. They had like
What?
a signing,
Yeah,
so I got both.
I got both. I got both too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, wait for Donny Cates to come back, and I mean he needs money. He's gonna go to CGC and make his 50,000. You know,
think he go to Midtown Comics?
No, he actually tweeted. He actually tweeted this. One of his tweets was something like, "I went to New York. I tried to get a sandwich at a bodega the Aki way, and I'm disappointed."
Oh, yo, I thought he was serious. I thought he was gonna violate. I was about to say, bro, listen, Donny Cates, if you're watching, I would take you to the best bodega sandwich deli shop. Well, never mind, because then there won't be like a COA if you. Never mind, I'll go wait for it.
I need a COA. I need that certified.
yeah. But
Anyway.
I'd rather pay the money.
No, what do you guys think about this? I was kind of like, I put it on there just to kind of make a discussion, but what do you guys think the pros and cons of getting Donny Cates spec at prices today and then either submitting or buying in high grade? What do you think, Jason?
I oddly enough, I randomly started looking at third prints again, that null cover, because somebody was asking me at work they saw my Marvel stuff on my arm and were asking me questions, and I brought up null, and it made me like start looking into it, and like it's actually at reasonable prices, I guess. Like I saw one the other day, the auction ended at like $75 for a near mint, for a near mint third print. Like I've seen like the slabs of 9/8 going for less than 300 here and there, which is a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yes.
I would buy. Like I personally was looking at like I was kind of bummed I didn't buy the one. I thought it was going to go higher than $75. I was like, oh, I should have probably snagged that. But
yeah, and I think if you get a 9.6 out of those third prints, you can still make money. Like you probably won't make as much, but you're still like pretty okay.
At 75, I think you could probably almost double your money with grading costs and all that.
Yeah,
if you get a 9.6.
Yeah, certainly, man. Fedora, what about you, man? Are you on this train or?
I can't. I think my web browser is like crashing, so I can't really see much. I only see myself. But what I will say is that I like Donny Cates. I like the characters he's created, but I don't think he's the right person to take them to the next level. That's just my opinion. I'm going to stand on that. If you could buy him now and sell them when you could get like a Al Ewing to do a Noel story or a Benjamin Percy, a Jeff, any of those guys that can do Noel, Black Winter. Al Ewing with Black Winter would be crazy if he's doing the Immortal Thor right now. Like any of those like really good guys, because Donny Cates kind of has like one style, and that's just like action, fucking shit up, explosions, oh my god, So, I think his characters, for the spec to go up, I think that they need like somebody that could really write and craft a fully fleshed out story for Null and Black Winter if we ever want to see those prices go up again, which I think it's inevitable. It will happen. Just who's it going to be?
And this is a great point, Spider Guy Murph. He says, or this is just a factoid, I guess. He's in recovery right now, and he's not writing, he's just tweeting out stuff. But if Donny Cates doesn't come back, those characters are Donny Cates spec is still, I think, in my opinion, it's not a bad risk because they're great characters. But who the writers that Fedora just mentioned, if they pick those up, this Donny Cates spec may rise. Minus God Country. I don't really know. I just put that in there for fun. Hey, what's up, Yee? Long time no see, man. Aren't you glad that Shohei is out of the AL West? Because I am too. Anyway. Next up, I just watched Blue Beetle this weekend. This kind of, I was curious of what the prices were. This is definitely a no for me as far as the comic book is concerned for now. This could change. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with the DCU. James Gunn did say that Blue Beetle is part of the DCU going forward. As far as the movie, it was very enjoyable to watch with the family of 19 or whatever. It's not fun for like us three guys to go see this movie. It was a little too campy for me, but I liked it. But the reason I say like I wouldn't buy this book is because books that have properties that are too campy just aren't working right now. If you're in the market for a Blue Beetle first appearance, Infinite War or Infinite Crisis number 4, 9.8, it's going for $120, which
That's crazy.
I think it's dropped quite a bit. I mean, this book was like $300 to $350 in 9.8 prior to the movie coming out. Again, the movie was really entertaining, but Jason and I think we were talking about it. It was like, it's just like it just was too funny. It was too campy. The villain was actually pretty decent.
I think. Well, and I also think based off of the movie, like the spec would be more on not necessarily this Blue Beetle, but older Blue Beetle.
Ted Cord or whatever his name is. Yeah. And that might be true as well. I don't know. So Pickles, you were, or Jace, you were in total agreement that this was not a good spec to pick up, right?
Yeah, like I like the movie. Like the movie was entertaining. I like the character, but I don't know if I would necessarily buy it.
Yeah, and yeah, Kingdom of Nerds, that for sure. Blue Beetle was great. I again, like I liked it. I just wasn't like, kind of like with Marvels. Like I wasn't like, oh man, I gotta get that first appearance. I was just like, just more curious. If you want, I would say get the Blue Beetle first series, third print, 6,000 print run. I think you can get 90s for like $50. That might be a nice steal. Fedora, do peeps come into the shop?
No. Nope. Don't even need to finish it. Nobody's buying it.
We had it was when Blue Beetle came out. We had like a whole like display, and it wasn't really moving, and it just took up a lot of space. I think that well, what has been moving was Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, All-Star, Superman, Wonder Woman, Historia. So a lot of the James Gunn attached properties, it's been going. So people have been asking specifically for those books. I will say that Blue Beetle is still not a bad spec, especially like in the terms of like Blue Beetle as a character, no, but like if you're trying to invest in the book, I think it would be a good decision to kind of more or less look at what the actor is doing and how big he's getting in his rise, because a lot of people want him to play that one character from One Piece. Yeah, there's like a lot. Yeah. And since the whole Jamie Lee Curtis got fan casted and they reached out to her and they were like, hey, you want to play this character? So if the fans get that fan cast and have the Blue Beetle actor play not Zorro. There's a guy that looks like him with a cowboy hat. It looks just like him. It looks just like the Blue Beetle actor. I don't really know his name. And they did like side-by-side comparisons. And I'm like, oh shit. So if he could get a one-piece role, like a really huge role, and he gets all this attention, and then he goes, hey, I'm going to be in like the James Gunn verse now. I'm going to be Blue Beetle again. The fans are going to follow him. So I think you're more following, the investment is more on the actor and not the character, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. My one complaint, or like, I guess wish I could see in Blue Beetle was, so I watched the movie more so because of the actor, because he was in the, what was it? Karate Kid show, Cobra Kai. And there was a lot of like fighting in Cobra Kai, like almost too much, but I loved it. He didn't do that much fighting in this movie. The only one cool part he did was when he made that big ass freaking giant sword and then drew the line with it, which was in the previews, by the way. Other than that, like it just didn't like have that much action in it. It was, like I said, it was almost too funny for a superhero show. But I mean, maybe that's just like, maybe it's just that's the genre they're trying to get. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I would not buy any Blue Beetles books to submit to CGC at this point because the raws, it's a tough 9.8, by the way. The raws are going for like $30, and every single one I saw online was like a 9.4 at best. You'd have to press it and just like hope for like a 9.8. And I just think it's just for the prices for 120. You might as well screw the submission and just buy it if you're gonna risk it. You know what I mean? So, those are my thoughts, and I'm never right. So, yeah. So more kind of like random like thoughts or whatever. 80s cartoon comics. I think even in Renee, also known as Dragon's Den. I don't know if he's watching right now, but if you are watching, Renee, this is our conversation yesterday kind of made me think about this. So I think it's okay to submit 80s cartoon comics if they're like at an 8085, because the price you're probably going to pay is not too bad. The one I'm kind of hesitant on to suggest are G.I. Joes, because I don't know of any little kids that like G.I. Joes so much. It's gonna stick with like if you're 30 and above, I think.
Not even.
Or maybe 38 and above. I don't know.
There's some people my age that they go and then they buy GI Joe, like not many. I would say Transformers is like the big one where it's like people my age and even young kids really like Transformers. A lot of little kids been buying like the Transformers toys and stuff like that. Comics have been flying. GI Joe, it's like, I don't know, like I feel like there's a little sprinkle of like millennials that like it, but I would say like the hardcore GI Joe guys are like 50 and over.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody in the chat, but
I mean that's just a fact. I agree. And Commander Cody's got a good Cody's got a question for you. Are you guessing on a lot of those?
Yes. Wait, the IDW?
The new series that came out?
The new series, the Image one, right?
It's Image, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We still have a lot left, I think.
Yeah.
We still have a good amount left.
So like the readers really aren't gravitating. I mean, personally, I'm not even gravitating towards it, you know? So Jason, what are your thoughts on these?
So who is G.I. Joe? Is G.I. Joe like, is he the guy? Is he
it's like all of it.
It's like
a unit of military unit.
What does GI stand for?
General Infantry, right?
I believe so.
General Infantry Joe. All right, I guess.
There you go. Don't grade G.I. Joe's evidently. Yeah. Jason, what do you think? Of the three, what would you be more confident in? Oh, General.
As far as like long term, I mean, Turtles for sure is like that one's always had like long standing power. Like,
yeah,
it's been around forever. It spawns so many different things, and it's still been active today. Transformers has taken an uptick with the movies franchise and stuff like that. I think like that's how I'd probably rank them, as Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe right now. I think you might see an uptick in G.I. Joe with them doing the new Cobra Commander series and Duke series and stuff like that. It might attach some younger readers if the stories are good. And they might dig back into the other stuff. Because like I personally was a kid who grew up watching the G.I. Joe cartoons. Like I love that stuff. Like Serpentor was my jam. That dude that flew around on that fucking flying snake thing.
Hell yeah.
Like Cobra Commander was cool, but Serpentor was the shit.
Yeah. I think too, like, you know, if you watch the cartoons that made us, or like the toys that made us, like Hasbro or Mattel, I forgot whatever, you know, company did it. They had this marketing like plan. They put out a cartoon and they would introduce a character like every episode, and then they would be like series 2 of G.I. Joe figures, and then they would put them out into the atmosphere. That doesn't happen. I think the organic growth of G.I. Joe back in the 80s was so like, it was such a consistent pattern until they just stopped making toys like in the mid 90s with like, you know, I'm specifically talking about these three, but I'm forgetting a ton, like Mask. it's still holding value. That's a really good 80s cartoon comic. But I think in general, I think it's still okay to submit, first appearance of Thundercats, or even, even
He-Man,
like
He-Man #1.
He-Man's not a bad one either. I just think
Skeletor has got like a weird like it's popular with millennials because it's memed a lot.
yeah. So there's stuff like that, right? I think the toys really help out as well. And G.I. Joe hasn't really put out like really great toys. My niece loves Transformers because of the toys. She's never seen the show before. But I think with just
G.I. Joe's got shafted with a couple of like entertaining movies, but they weren't like great. I did like the Snake Eyes movie though. I thought that was pretty well done. The G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes. I thought that was a pretty good movie. If you ever watched that.
Care Bear, I'm not mad about Care Bear.
Dude, I used to have recorded tapes of like Care Bear, the movies and crap when I was like really little. The Care Bear stare. Like, we're gonna get rid of evil with our Care Bear stare, and they'd all link arms.
And then the
they had
love
the Care Bear.
came
They
out
had the
of
cousins too that were all like different animals. They had
That's
like a
right.
penguin one and a lion and all
That's
that.
when they're just like, oh, we're out of ideas.
We can't just do bears anymore. We got to bring in the rest of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the Smurfs hasn't come back.
Yeah. Well, remember they had the Smurfs, and then they also had that like.
Oh, they had the animated movie.
The G.I. Joes and GoBots. They had the Snurfs and the Snorks, or whatever it was. The Snorks were underwater.
Have they ever did a crossover? The Snorks and the Smurfs?
I don't know. But they were like essentially the same thing. Like they were the same shape. It's just that Smurfs lived up top, and then the Snorks had that little spout off the top of their head that I.
What about Q*bert and Pac-Man?
Yeah. Oh, Q*bert used to piss me off. I fucking hate that game. Like I could not figure out how to get him to stop jumping off the goddamn cliff. I'm like, stay on the boxes.
PTSD for Jason. PTSD for Jason. Yeah. Next up. Spawn. I couldn't find any other comics to like make relevant, but I want you guys to kind of talk more about this since you guys are more in Spawn. I would say Voltron. I'm sorry, I forgot about Voltron. Yeah, that's a great one. And then that Jenny Frison comic. Actually,
Defenders of Eris.
If you're a Voltron fan, that I think it's that Jenny Frison variant that she did. It's gone down quite a bit in price, so pick it up. Yeah, wait, I didn't have time to do 90s books. Maybe another time though, because that might be something that Fedora can talk about a little more. But
yeah, there was like a time when like all that Disney block that we used to have on TV.
Yeah, I know.
All those things spawned comic books. Darkwing Duck, freaking. They used to have the gummy bears on it. Remember that?
It made
you
want to get up. It made you want to get up early. That's Saturday mornings. It was great.
I was all about the Looney Tunes when I was a kid, though, too.
You are a Looney Tune, Jason. Okay.
Animaniacs.
Yeah,
you're an Animaniac too.
Hysteria is pretty good too.
Holy cow!
Even the newer, because they've done a couple seasons of Animaniacs on Hulu more recently. Those were even like pretty good too. Like it was brought me back.
It did. It brought me back too. We're about an hour into the show. We got 14 live. We'll do a slab giveaway at the end of the show. I'm putting people's names in the giveaway as I kind of type away here. But again, thanks everyone for joining us on your first playoff week of football for fantasy football. Yeah, like that. Hit that like. We're trying to get to 500 subs so we can get monetized and I can start buying cheap slabs to give away. Anyway, next up is Spawn. Now, this is the interesting thing I think about Spawn when I think of Spawn, is that there's been rumors of like shows and movies coming out. It's like Twitter John Morosi crap. I don't even listen to it. The fact that Spawn's still ongoing, and the fact that I see it in random like video games. There's a Spawn skin you can buy for Modern Warfare. Spawn tattoo. People get Spawn tattoo still.
We need a Gail Lewis skin.
Gail Lewis? Who's Gail Lewis?
Never mind.
Is that the Aki way? Is that like an Aki way?
No. Gail Lewis was a Walmart employee, and she like went on the loudspeaker and was like, "This is Gail Lewis, 10-year associate,
Oh,
844, Morose, Illinois, signing out." And then she had like that was like her last day on the job, and she was signing out like she was like a army sergeant, like she was signing off, and then it went viral.
I saw that and I was like, I didn't understand. I thought she was gonna like cuss somebody out, or it was like,
Nah,
it was just like
She was just happy.
done.
She was happy to be done with working at Walmart.
No, she was sad. She was crying and shit.
Why'd she leave then?
Because she was getting a better offer. She's the biggest free agent. She's the biggest free agent like out right now. Like
she's the Shohei Ohtani of Walmart.
Yeah, she is. She really is.
She's getting scooped up by corporate.
Oh man. That's great. That's great. we need tattoo of her as well, I guess.
Somebody got one. I saw on Twitter somebody got a Gail Lewis tattoo. I swear to fucking God.
Already?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's a legend.
Like my buddy still never followed through with his tattoo idea. Like back when the Trump election was happening.
What's that? What was he gonna do?
He told me, and this was his words. He's like, if Trump wins, he's like, I'm gonna get a tramp stamp on my back, but he's like, it'll be a Trump stamp, and it'll be like caricatures of Trump, and Johnny Manziel was like the big thing back then.
Oh my God!
And Johnny Manziel's just gonna be going like this, giving the money symbol. He's like, I'm just gonna have them both doing that, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Jason's gonna hold him down when he gets a tramp stamp on his butt.
I was like, I'm gonna tattoo it myself, and I don't even like. I'm not even a good artist.
It's just gonna be like it's sticks and figures, and then like Trump, Johnny Manziel.
I don't even know where he like came up with that on the spot, and I was just like, that's a very specific thing. Like, I was like,
that's very specific. He was thinking about that.
I don't think he thought it was going to happen. So he was like,
back to Spawn anyway. Spawn newsstands, those are I mean, those always are like, I think in lower grade even, it's still worth it to buy and submit to CGC. Tom McFarlane always has signings, so there's that whole wait till Tom McFarlane signing, sub it in, get it pressed, all that stuff. That's like an easy flip, I would say. I put Spawn Gunslinger because it's a lower print. It's one of the other books currently right now that people think about getting, other than the first book. And then throughout,
I would do Malibu Sun, honestly. Like if I could get like a near mint, I feel like that would be kind of like the way to go. Like if you were gonna do, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't like the newsstand. Like that barcode look crazy on the art.
Mm-hmm.
They should have put the barcode on the back cover.
Yes, I agree. If I was gonna get a Spawn book, well, I mean, I already have Spawn first print, but I would get Malibu Sun. Like there's too many Spawn #1s out there, bro. Like like Malibu Sun 13. End the discussion. Enough with the Spawn #1. Enough.
And yes, let's pray for our good friend Kingdom of Nerds. That's like a $800 to $1,000 payday in this market, right there. So I think Spawn, it has an organic following. It's not just us 40-plus-year-olds that read G.I. Joe. It's kids, man. Kids dig Spawn because he's like a cool character.
You want to know a crazy thing? A kid came in with his mom, and then he was like, "Yo, I want to read some comics," and I'm like, "Yo, like, mom, like, do you mind?" And she's like, "Yo, like." She's like, as long as it's not too violent, I really don't care. And I was like, all right, little kid, here you go, Spawn. And then he was like, that's the guy from Mortal Kombat. And I'm like, yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can read this.
Yeah. And he was like 9 years old. So
there you go.
So that little kid is gonna grow up to be like 20 some shit, and he might be like, yo, you know what? I want to own Spawn #1.
Yeah, and there's 5 million copies out there, but supply and demand. 10 million people want it. So
then he's gonna tell his son, "Yo, when I was a kid, Spawn," and then boom.
And the kid's gonna be like, "I levitate." I don't know why I said that. That was weird. Okay,
the Spawn levitate.
I don't know.
That was just the suit. I played the shit out of a well-constructed Spawn video game, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, Spawn video game. I've been on this hunt for a Spawn video game.
There was one for Dreamcast. I own it. There's one for PlayStation 2. I own it. There's a shitty one for PlayStation 1. I own it. There's one for, I think, Sega and Super Nintendo. I own, I think, the Super Nintendo one. That one was garbage. So the best one is the one for Dreamcast.
Oh.
And then the one for PlayStation 2 comes next.
Jason, can
if you're looking for a well-constructed Spawn game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to talk about that actually in a little bit. But Jason, can I show you what Lamar Jackson just did? On my, you guys see
What
this?
he did.
Can you see points?
Oh, he threw another touchdown. For some reason, my update.
You see the points though?
Can
you see the points he scored though?
They're talking
yeah,
about
I know you have
football
weird scoring on
and
your
stuff
league.
like that.
Yeah, no, you score in your league. You're just jealous. Anyway,
I'm not jealous.
just
Like
kidding.
it's the same scoring structure. You just have like crazy points.
No, it's the
You get
best
like
scoring
50 points for
structure.
a touchdown or something.
You get 100.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
Anyway,
It's like I get
All right.
6.
all right. So we are in for Spawn, everyone. It seems that the
I'm
consensus
all
is-
in, all in. Go all in on
He's
Spawn.
all
Oh yeah, Spawn's like one
Malibu
of the,
13, specifically Malibu 13. Listen, viewers, if you're not looking for
Okay,
Malibu
right.
Sun number 13,
Hold on,
unalive yourself.
Hold on.
Unalive yourself.
Wait. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
If you're not looking for Malibu Sun 13, unalive yourself. Stop with the Spawn number 1. No more. We're moving on to bigger and better things. Leave it for the normies. Leave it for like the people who kind of know Spawn. Sell it off to them. Malibu Sun 13 for the hardcores, for the OGs, for the collectors, for
Oh my God.
Bird, the nerd. Malibu Sun 13.
That was the best. That was the best freaking thing ever. I love it. This is my controversial no. Miles. And not because it's fatigue, not because he's, Peter Parker's everyone's Spider-Man. I just think that everyone wants a 9.8 out of every single Miles book. So it's really hard to get 9.8s right now, in my honest opinion. And just the prices for raws that people are asking for because it's a Miles book. Oh, it's a variant or it's an Ultimate Fallout 4. There's too much risk in it. So I think submitting a Miles book and paying like $40 to $100 or how much you're going to pay and needing a 9.8 to get your money back, it's too risky right now. I think Spider-Man 2 was a great video game, and that's going to kind of keep prices at right now. But just like as far as like the supply and demand for Miles, and then this is also what kind of showed me, like, I wanted to point this out as well. The Miles movie didn't do very well in the box office for what I thought it should have done. Barbie is the #1 movie of the year, followed by Mario. With all the hype and all the like kind of focus on Miles, it was the 6th best movie of this year. And the year's not even over yet. I mean, you saw Christmas holiday weekend, all that, right? So I still love Miles as a character. Like he was super fun in the Spider-Man game, but I think there's a little bit of fatigue with Miles, in my opinion. I see a lot of store exclusives. When I typed in Miles Morales or Spider-Man Miles Morales, variants, there were so many different variants out there. And I don't even know which ones to get or even suggest. So I just think it's too risky right now. Today, I just think it's time for to people to take a seat back with the Miles spec, submitting to CGC, and then expecting to make their money back on Miles. I just think the buy-in's too high for the risk of trying to get 9.8. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of what you said. A lot of the covers, especially the ones that are selling more, are harder to get 9.8s in because of there are a lot of dark covers. There's a lot of defects that show on them, stuff like that. And like, while I'm a fan of the character Miles, like I haven't really like dove too deep into his storylines all that much. But like, I'm kind of like Fedora. Like I've read some Spider-Man, but I don't read a lot of it. If I do, it's more silver, bronze, like those age Spider-Man, but it was like stuff that I read as a kid. So like I'm not really buying up too much Miles. Like I've got a couple second prints of Ultimate Fallout 4, but that's about all I have. And I think I've got raw copies of the first 5 books of his like first solo run, that Ultimate Comics or whatever it is. I've got books 1 through 5 of that, but yeah.
Yeah. I used to have that Miles Kiss, the Isono variant. It was like 1 in 25 black cover. I had a signed 9.8. I sold it for $2K. And I probably invested about 1,000 into that series of books. I made my money pretty good. I don't know what that book goes for now, but it's one of those. But like the buy-in, $1,000, I got so lucky on the 9.8. I mean, I swear to God, if I didn't get a 9.8, I would have been screwed. So just the buy-in just so high. What?
For the Fallout?
No, it was a Isono variant of the Kiss.
Oh.
Yeah. I just got lucky, man. It's black cover, like Jason was saying. It's just really hard to like make your money back. Fedora, I know how much you dig Miles, and I know you dig Spider-Punk more, which I think is a better buy-in. But, bro, what do you think about this?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's always gonna go down and then back up, right? Because there's gonna be like peaks and valleys with Miles Morales. Because I feel like he's always gonna be a character that's gonna spike and then cool off a little bit. Because when's the next movie coming out? Like 2026? Like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you could get a copy while the price is down and while the market is like oversaturated and everybody's like, you know, because we know people love FOMO. People FOMO for everything. And I feel like Miles is always like anytime something happens with him, because there's going to be two major points in where you could sell the Miles book and make a lot of money. So there's going to be when the new Spider-Verse movie comes out, and then there's going to be the live action Miles when that comes out. So if, you know, I mean, you obviously you have the data to back it up. If you could buy something low right now, like buy it, because there's gonna be 2 chances that you're gonna have to sell it and make a ton of money on it. But me, I think the future is kind of more with Spider-Punk, because I can't imagine there are too many 1 in 50 Spider-Punks out there, you know, and I can't imagine there's too many 1 in 25. Well, who did it? The Jevic of the first appearance of Spider-Punk. So
I don't know. You're probably right.
Yeah. So I can't imagine that there's probably even less of what the Fiona Staples Miles #1. Which, if you have the money to buy that, I suggest you buy that one. I hooked up a friend of mine on a good deal for the 1 in 50, and it's like a $1,500 book. So if you can get the Fiona Staples 1 in 50 Miles #1, I think that's always going to be a really good investment, especially when you know, you're gonna have like the animated movie and the live action movie, because they're gonna cross. I mean, they have to put them in live action. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all good points. I thought, I was thinking of like the 1 in 25s of that first run. I still think they're so expensive to buy raw and submit to see, because people are still asking $300 to $500 for that. And the 9.8s just, they go for maybe double. And that's a 9.8. So I think if you got the money, just buy it out.
The Fiona Staples raw is going for like a G and then some. You know, so yeah.
Fiona Staples wrong. Let me see.
The Fiona Staples 1 in 50, yeah. And my cousin sold his for $700. So.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah. So
you can blow it up. 9.8, 4,200.
Yeah, 30 bits. That's October. But yeah, I mean, these don't go around for a very. That's probably the one outlier, right? Like, that's a beautiful cover. The UF4s though, they've dropped down in price like a ton.
That 1 in 25.
No. The just the I mean that one too, but like just the regular Force, it's under $1,000. I think it's just supply and demand, you know. But this is pure like that's just a beautiful cover. I think
Everybody's trying to dump those 1 in 25 UF4 books.
Oh my gosh, man! I can't believe people were
I
paying
can't.
so much money for it. It's ridiculous.
40K.
Yeah,
40K.
that's Bitcoin money, man. That's someone doesn't give a shit, you know.
Like what are you, a mook? You like you gotta be like a
probably
like
order your sandwiches Aki style, you know.
he probably does. Like, yo, whoever paid 40K for that book, stick your head in an oven and don't take it out for the rest of your life because it's 13K right now.
Put it in a blender.
Put it in something. Put it in something where you get like radiation poisoning or something like that because you deserve that. You literally deserve that. 40K for a book, and you could get like a 9 point something in like X-Men #1 or something like that.
Yeah, like iconic book, right?
Yo, the pandemic was making people go crazy. Like they were like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I mean, Jason didn't talk to me for like a year.
Jason was in New York with me. That's why.
Yeah, that's exactly where it was. Next subject here with video game comics. I'm very, you guys all know I'm very bullish on video game properties, just because they cross so many different platforms, right? You know, like
me too.
Yeah, The Last of Us is kind of like one book I just think of because it did so well after the show came out, and then all this concentration on the video games. The second one's coming out soon. But yeah, and then Metal Gear, I mean, there's rumors of the movie coming out, right? But I mean, a new game hasn't come out, and this book still sells like 40 to 50 raw. And I think people understand that it's hard to get a 9.8 out of this book. And so your 9.4s and 9.6s are still going to get pretty good value from going into it. And then Castlevania, the show just came out. So it's great. I don't know if you guys watched the Netflix show, but I love it. And just in general, whenever I think of like, oh, what comic books that are not so much like the Marvel or DC books that I like to read, what other comic books do I like seek for? And it's always a video game comic book because it's nice to have that comic book, video game, magazine like combination, and they just they cross more fans like in real time. Jason and I became best friends because of Final Fantasy, because we spent hours and hours playing that damn game trying to get the golden chocobo, you know. So it makes sense in that regard. But
is that what started your addiction to walkthroughs and all those things? Strategy guides?
Addiction? You mean religion?
your start of play with I can't play this game without a strategy guide.
Look, Jason, just because I want to complete something and I want to do it correctly, okay? And you have some affliction against that.
My mom was like, "You ain't getting no strategy guide." Yo, I remember at one point, not only did I not get a strategy guide, my mom wouldn't even buy me a memory card. So I was playing on hardcore New Game Plus mode every single day when I woke up. Every weekend I was on New Game Plus, no saves. So you guys with your fancy memory cards and your fancy magazines, you ain't do it how I did it, the Aki way.
Well, yeah, like that's what I see all those things about, like
I almost
memes nowadays, how they always like save points and stuff like that. It's like they won't know the frustration of like getting through an entire level of Mario or something like that, just to die at the end of it and get kicked all the way back to the beginning because there's no goddamn save points.
Yo,
that was the thing with 7, right? Because like what was the point where you could save anywhere on 7? Like you had to get to like the open world and like have free reign, but until then you had to get to a save point. I forgot that point, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, set back. Yeah,
it was such a relief to get to that
You'd
point.
You'd like wander around, be winning battles, and then find run into some shit pop up when you're just running the map that kills you, and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
You got to go all the way back because there's like some of those villains you'd be like fighting them, and they just wouldn't go away, and they'd hit you like with one thing, and you just died. You're like, what the hell? Like my entire HP just went away, and he attacked me once.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom had gotten me a Metal Gear Solid PlayStation 1 when it first came out.
Yes.
and like a month later, like I had finally like figured out how to pass the game, and I left it on an entire day.
Yeah.
Because my mom was like, "Yo, you gotta go to your godmother's house," and I'm like, "No, I gotta beat this." And she's like, "Yo, come on, we gotta go." And then my godmother was like, "Oh, you should stay over," and I'm like, "Ah." So I stood over, and then I had came back on Saturday, and then the PlayStation was still ripping and roaring. It was ready to go, and then I had finished it like Saturday like night.
Was it just steaming? Like just
no,
hot?
it was regular.
Good?
It was like
Yeah.
it was regular. It was good. It was. I just turned the TV on and I was like, "Yep, I'm back." And
That's the
then
other thing.
for
Go ahead.
Christmas, I asked for a memory card.
Yeah, dude. And here's the other thing too that kids don't appreciate. Like you download a game, you don't got to worry about your pet or your dad or a relative accidentally like getting on the cord and then pulling the PlayStation, like forward and the fucking disc skips. Fuck me. How many times that happened? You know what I mean? Anyway, back to the comic books.
Yo, but before we end this, I remember
we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Before one time, I put the CD on top of my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then when it was a hot day, and I guess the PlayStation was hot. That when I picked up my Crash Bandicoot, the game just broke in half. And like I was like,
shit.
"Oh, yeah, bro!" Like I wanted to cry. That was crazy. Anyways,
no, it's PTSD, man. But yeah, I just think like the thing with the video game comic books, like regardless of like the distribution to movies or whatever, right? And it's all going to come to fruition at the end of the show. These can be paired with the video game, and you can make pretty good money. And the other thing too is, remember, these are a majority of these comic books aren't Marvel or DC. These are indie publishers.
Low print, especially Dark Horse. We've spoken about this many times on the show, and I remember we were speaking about how I was saying Dark Horse. They do a lot of the video game stuff now, and for me, where I work, we always order tons and tons of stuff, tons and tons of books. We order tons of everything.
Yeah,
I don't see many. So we've been getting Resident Evil books, Resident Evil comics by Tokyo Pop. We only get 4 or 5 copies, if not a month, of those Resident Evil books. Don't know if they have any first appearances in them, but the print runs for these books are really, really short. Dark Horse, Tokyo Pop's doing the Resident Evil books now. So even the TV shows like Stranger Things and things like that, like jump on these books. I was buying Cyberpunk 2077 when the game was terrible. I still think it's a good investment now. Metal Gear Solid, all of these books, even the Scarface books.
Those are cool books, man. The Resident Evil stuff right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I feel like those books are like a good investment as well, because there's a lot of people come in asking for Resident Evil comics just to give you. What were you saying?
The show, I mean, they've done the movie so many times. The game's like being revamped all over. There's a lot more focus on it. I think it stems from people playing the game and they're like, "Oh, I want to get the comic book too because I either want that part of my collection or they just like it. They just like the genre." And zombies are still, for some reason, like cool. I don't know why, but
and if Melanin and manga's in here too, maybe that person knows that the manga series of Resident Evil, the complete collection, goes for $300 for like 5 volumes. So video game properties are a pretty good investment.
Yeah, I think it's a lot safer. Jason, do you have any of these books, or like are you seeking any of these guys, or can you think of a video game comic you're like, oh yeah, I dig that?
I don't have any that I can think of. Like I definitely know I don't have any of these.
Me either.
I don't know if I have many video game ones. Honestly, like it's not that I'm not looking or anything like that. It's just I don't actively seek them out, say on like eBay or anything like that. If I see one in the store and I like it, I'll pick it up if it's at a decent price or something like that.
We still got some on the walls, but I don't think that like I think that not many people are aware that some video games are comics, and if they are aware, they kind of more gravitate toward like DC and Marvel and things like that. Like they have no idea that like there's like a huge scarcity in a lot of these books. Like even the Dreamwave Devil May Cry stuff, right? Like people are going crazy for those things now. And I think I said it a few weeks ago. Some guy sold me the whole set for like $20.
Yeah.
So the only one I don't have is the Michael Turner variant, which I think goes for like
that's the one,
pretty
dude.
good. Yeah. So that's the only one I don't have. But I mean,
good pickups, man. It's safe. I mean, again, and like these books, like when I was talking about low print runs, they go for pretty high and raw. But I think people understand that like a 9.4 and that Metal Gear Solid book is still worth 3 figures, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Even the manga, even like the manga comics, we had a Ghost in the Shell #1 by Dark Horse, near mint $65. It didn't even last 2 days on the wall. Somebody scooped it up. Alita Battle Angel, I purchased that one. Akira, that thing didn't even last a few hours on the shelf. So a lot of these anime adaptation into comics and video games, they're scarce. They're hard 9/8 if you're trying to grade them, and if you could get them signed, like now we're getting into like some big money. So potentially, if you could get a Metal Gear a comic signed by Hideo Kojima, which is not out of the realm of possibility, if you could get The Last of Us signed by I don't know what this guy,
one of the actors
is. Yeah, one of the actors, anybody, and this is not unrealistic because we saw a signed Al Pacino variant of Scarface.
$1,000.
Yeah, so really, like, it might be worth it just to go out and get a Castlevania, The Last of Us, Devil May Cry, and see, you can get one of the voice actors. Go to one of these conventions. The voice actors are there. Like the motion capture people are there. Like it's so easy to get these voice actors to sign your shit. Like a lot of the voice actors for the anime stuff, they're there every convention. Demon Slayer, One Punch Man. Like these are easy ways to flip and make money. I do not flip or sell books, disclaimer. But yeah. So
cool.
Well, because they've got what the voice of that gaming
Miles.
expo that they're having here. Voice of Miles from the game is going to be there.
Yeah.
You can get stuff like that. They've got the dude who does the voice for Kronos and all those guys in the God of War books. If you got any God of War books.
Yeah, he's coming up for SummerCon, right?
Yeah, that gaming expo.
Or the big game. Oh my bad, that gaming. And I mean, and again, we'll get save those comments for the end of the show.
I didn't even see that you brought our favorites up here. Just look back at the screen.
So Kitty Properties. One I definitely am behind, and the other can go fuck himself. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now the low print runs, your keys, we've talked about them in shows in the past. I'm for it, man. Just because of the hunt for these books is pretty fun. The values though are pretty high as well. I think it's that Sonic the Hedgehog 98, the first appearance of Ruffles, or the hell that Sonic's name
Ruffles.
is. I don't know.
That's Chip, man.
I just made it up. But yeah,
there's
man.
Shadow, there's Tails, there's
there you go.
Knuckles.
Shadow and Ruffles, whatever.
There's Silver, there's Rough and Tumble, there's Metal Sonic, there's
so many opportunities, right? And like kids love Sonic the Hedgehog. They play the game, they see him in cartoons.
Kids come into the shop all the time.
Watching for it, right? So
Sonic. That's the first thing they go to. They look at the wall and they go, "Oh, Mom, Sonic!" Boom.
Yeah, recognition, automatic recognition. I would say the tough thing about Sonic is that there's just so many different series of Sonic that you have to like kind of be cognizant, and it's kind of it's kind of a different category that I just don't have like the mental capacity to like remember all the issues and whatnot. But I wouldn't hate on anybody searching for these properties because it has a longer term kind of deal. Even if you do submit to CGC at the prices you're getting, you're still probably going to get a fairly good amount of money back. in the specific rare comics, because these comics are usually trash because they're read by kids. So just kind of keep that in mind.
I'm a Sonic guy.
I mean, right there, Sonic, right there. I mean, boom. I don't think Jason has a tattoo of Sonic, but I'm sure he appreciates Sonic for sure.
I should get one. I like Sonic.
I mean, there you go.
I read Sonic. I buy every Sonic that comes out every month, all the covers.
Yeah.
Every cover. I read
I
it.
gotta figure out I'm gonna go on the left leg. That's the next venture.
And then My Little Pony.
Oh my
I don't
god.
think I need to say a lot about this, but what do you guys think? I want you guys to comment.
You want my opinion on My Little Pony is I know nothing about My Little Pony. So other than it's like they're toys when I was a kid.
A bunch of little girls came, I'm not even lying, I'm not even trying to troll, but a bunch of like little teeny boppers. They came in with their dad and then they bought like a bunch of My Little Pony stuff.
Yeah,
So,
the girls did. Not the dad.
Little girls.
The little girls.
The little girls.
So my point, click whatever you want, but don't go around saying that this is going to go up versus Sonic the Hedgehog. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
No.
Do not buy this book and think
No.
you're going to make $500.
Please
or
don't.
My
Please.
Little Pony.
If you're into My Little Ponies and you want it, then cool. But
There was one dude that bought like a
Yeah.
bunch of My Little Pony, and he was like, I'm not even gonna say anything, but he just wasn't a pleasant person.
Yeah,
But
people who buy My Little Pony and buy several copies of it and think they're going to make money off of it, they belong on an island. Okay,
listen,
all right, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
they,
All right, I think this is the last slide, or we got two more, and then we're almost done. Again, thanks. We're almost done with the show. Again, we'll do a giveaway at the end. This has gone a lot longer than I thought, but it's all good. I appreciate everyone.
we were just side conversation.
It's all good, man. Shohei, a lot of news came out today. If you all could like, subscribe, tell all your friends about the show. We're almost at 500 subs. I appreciate everyone's support throughout the year. We'll maybe do like one or two more shows before the end of the year. But again, thanks everyone. I hope you all have a great Sunday. Going forward. So Art Adams versus J. Scott Campbell. I've just seen that. I'm not a big Art Adams fan, but I see the market does. The market loves Art Adams, and so if you go out and you get one of these Art Adams like 1-in-25 ratios for like 30 to 40, and get it at 9.8, you're gonna make money on it. So I definitely recommend doing that if you're trying to flip it.
The Venom one he did was sick, bro.
Who was on the cover of Venom?
Venom.
Venom.
Adams did it was really nice. I just don't like. He has like the same face syndrome.
Yeah.
But I will say, J. Scott Campbell. We have like a lot of J. Scott Campbell like premium books, and they always fly. People come in specifically asking for J. Scott Campbell, tourists, regulars, people who know a little bit. They come with a picture. Do you have this cover? So, in my opinion, it's J. Scott Campbell all the way.
Yeah.
I don't think no disrespect to Art Adams, but I don't think he's at that level. Like he hasn't done a cover or developed a style where like casual people could look at it and go, "Oh, I recognize that from somewhere." You know what I'm saying? And kind of pull it off. I don't know. I think his more interesting covers, in my opinion, is when he doesn't do girls. Like I like him better when he's doing
100%.
But yeah.
The one thing I would say about J. Scott Campbell, and Jason, I want you to chime in here, is that he does so many covers, and he has this exclusive online store. I think that kind of waters down like the collectability of his books. So I think that's the one thing that I would hinder away from J. Like I wouldn't go on J. Scott Campbell's website and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that $50 exclusive on his website and then try and flip it for, whatever." That's the only thing I have against J. Scott Campbell investment wise. I like his art better than Art Adams. That book last week we were talking about, that Lizard variant, that Spider-Man variant. That's my favorite.
Oh, so that guy that gifted me that book?
Yeah,
he has that. He messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I was watching the show and you guys mentioned this book," and he had the lizard. He had the lizard. Dude, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, that's crazy. So right there, I mean, right, iconic cover, not so much story, but very hard to find in high grade, that book. Either way.
And he's like, yeah, I have this in my basement somewhere. Yeah, just bring it up.
Just has money in his basement. Jason, man,
But-
are you? I never heard you talk about Art Adams or J. Scott like in like, oh man, have you seen the new whatever cover? What's your take on either of these artists?
Like, I mean, I like their work. Art Adams, I've got like Michael Baker was saying, I think in the chat that he popped up there. I like his work in the older stuff a lot more. Like, I was a big fan of the Long Shot series. I believe I've got a Long Shot number 3 slabbed around here somewhere. The first Mojo.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't actively like look for his stuff specifically. If I see a cover that I like, I don't necessarily know whether it's him or not, but I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Cool, man.
But he does a lot of these covers like that where it's like up close. So I've got his cover run of the Strange Academy. Like I've got
I like
books in that.
Yeah.
I like J. Scott Campbell, Adam Hughes, and I feel like I feel like Souza Micah, she's kind of like now like the in my opinion, she's kind of becoming that on that level of like J. Scott Campbell and Adam Hughes, where people see her work was on a fucking billboard in Times Square.
She's tight, man. She's tight.
Know, so I think like she's approaching really quickly actually that level of like recognizable art. You know, it's her. It flies off the shelf when it comes out. People come in looking for like the ratios and things like that. Tourists really dig it. Girls like it. You know, guys like it. So in my opinion, investment wise, I do not flip or sell books. Disclaimer. I think Souza Micah is a good bet for me. At least this is just for me on modern. Like if you're looking for somebody that, in my opinion, is on the level of these guys, and you got like fairly reasonable entry prices, I think Souza Micah is the best bet. Especially if she starts to work with Marvel and she starts doing Black Cat, she starts doing like Mary Jane and stuff like that, it's gonna be game over. Like once she's done with DC, when I don't know when that's gonna be, but once she moves over to Marvel, like good luck getting any of her DC books for reasonable prices because she's just gonna go on a tear, in my opinion. So be on the lookout.
So Fedora, I just added that little stream. Fedora does not flip or sell books on. Just a disclaimer, just to save you the breath. So
thank you.
I can put that on. I can put that on. So to add on to this, so it sounds like Souza Micah might not be a bad investment. Do the market data right, of course. And here's like the thing. This is basically what I did. So I went through all of these, you know, kind of like a broad based kind of spectrum of these like artists, these properties, and I did like, you know, Spawn, Gunslinger, Raw. Saw the kind of the average price, and I said, okay, Gunslinger CGC 9.4 or above. And I kind of did that's how I kind of researched the topics we're talking about today. And that's how I came up with the list and the suggestions. I just saw the current market. I'm not against any of these properties. Like, do whatever you want with your money. Just know that it's risky, and we're not policing it. Policing is being like, you can't do that. It's more of like, hey, if you're going to do that, this is like the upside you're going to get. And in today's market,
here's things to think about if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the bullet points. No pun intended, because we're not police, you know, like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I thought you were going to do bullet points, but yeah, basically that's what I did. So take it forever, you know, the advice wherever it's worth. I'm a finance guy, so that's what I love about comic books and collectibles. With that said, this is our last slide coming up. Again, I just want to thank everyone for sharing their Sunday morning, afternoon with us. I really do appreciate your guys' support for sure. Money's moving from collectibles, specifically, I think comics, to like video games. I think, you know, when people were investing in sports cards, it came into comic books and a flood of money came through from like sports cards over comics, Pokemon, whatever. And it just moves, right? I think there's still a huge opportunity in video games. it's a newer segment if you really think about it. I mean, video games didn't really hit homes until the late 80s. So, I mean, that's less than 30 years of collectibles, honestly. Comic books have been around since the 30s. Magazines have been around since forever. Baseball cards have been around since like the late 1800s. Pokemon's a different segment. You know, I'm going to put them in a different category. But I was Dragon's Den Renee had suggested in the Discord to watch the Video Game Awards. And I was watching it, and I noticed that a lot of very famous people were presenting at the Video Game Awards. And I mean, you had Timothy Chalamet, you had Mr. B. Jordan was there. There are a lot of artists that were at this function, and I looked, and the winner of the Game of the Year award was Baldur's Gate 3. I don't play Baldur's Gate 3, but I was curious. So I looked it up. If you were to buy the collector's edition of Baldur's Gate 3 3 months ago for like 200 pounds, which is equates to like $350 or something like that. It's 1.5 to every American dollar. You could have flipped it for $1,500 over the weekend before the awards game came out. I don't know of a $300 brand new 1 in 50, 500, whatever, that you could sell raw 3 months later for $1,500, right? So it just kind of, it made me think about my collecting kind of like, you know, with comic books being like just shitty right now. You know, buying a 1 in 50 for like $100 and trying to get a 9.8 and maybe sell it for $200.
It's the
risky.
same. It's the same thing for Pokemon too.
Sure.
You know, the market is pretty down.
Yeah.
And
Reason I'm specific on video games, right, is that people will gravitate from one hobby to another or one investment to another. And I think this is like, for me at least, it's an easy transition for me to go from comic books to like video games, right? The other thing too is this PS3 Dragon Age Inquisition, it also got a video game award. The PS3 sealed version goes for like $10 to $15. However, a graded version of this in 9.4, not even 9.8, goes for like $150. I mean, it's and you can submit to CGC with your account. You don't have to create a new account.
Inquisition was such a great game.
Yeah,
it was so good. The online was amazing. I used to play online with like my friends. Yeah. It was fun. It was like a fun game.
Yeah, so, Game of the Year, 2011 or 12. I can't remember the exact year, but I mean, it's a $10 sealed copy. Like, get a pretty good version of it and submit to CGC for $25. Get it back in a month, right? And sell it for $150 to $200. Call of Duty Ghosts, that's getting some love. There's a Call of Duty Ghosts variant signed by Jim Lee. So all you comic book nerds out there, going for like $50. There's rumors of a brand new movie coming out for Call of Duty.
Why?
Then, I don't know, but it's, you know, but if you're playing video games and you're collecting comics, that's a genre that you really have knowledge about ahead of other genres where you have to like research and stuff. This kind of hit home with me, Jason. This is another flip that you could have bought for $300, which I wish I did. The Final Fantasy VII remake part 2 that comes in. This hasn't even come out yet, like out of stores. You could have pre-bought this for $250 or $300. I saw Buy It Now and an auction go for $700. This hasn't even come out yet. So you're already making money on something that's not even in your hand if you pre-ordered this game. Jason, what do you think about this, man?
About the Final Fantasy one?
Just about video games in general. Is it interesting at all? I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, like I just more or less enjoy playing them than collecting them for the most part. So like cool. I would be untrustworthy in buying stuff because I would just end up playing it.
No, that's cool. And obviously, man, like, you know, I've been doing this lately. I've been like buying the digital, and then like if I think the game's really good, I'll buy a real copy and grade it, or you know, just keep it like kind of in the, you know, the coffers. Spider-Man 2, which Miles is like a co-star of the video game, got nominated for 7 awards and didn't win 1, which I thought was just shocking.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense.
Yeah, It's I mean, I'm very biased towards that game, but
I didn't think it was gonna win anything. Like it just made sense,
yeah.
right? Because I feel like it didn't really shift it didn't really like do anything like groundbreaking in a sense. Like it was a fantastic game, but
Yeah.
I feel like the first one did a lot for superhero games in general. The second one was kind of like just building on the first one.
I
And
see.
I think for Baldur's Gate, I think it was a big deal because it wasn't $70. It wasn't made by a AAA studio. And like this is like a big message to kind of like all the AAA studios that want DLC, free game services, online, that want to nickel and dime you for everything. That you don't need a $70 game. You don't need a bunch of microtransactions. You don't need to put out a half-ass game to make your money back. You know, so I think that's what really resonated with Baldur's Gate 3 because right now I would say like as far as not more on like the collectability side of video games, but just more for like the players. I feel like gaming has just been I haven't been really excited for many things, mainly because everything that these AAA companies do is a cash grab. And it's more like how are we gonna make this quick money for our shareholders rather than how are we gonna make a good game for the players. And I think Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely had a lot of the players in mind. And it definitely shows in the game and it shows in how the fans responded to the game. Like
I
it
mean,
won.
one game of the year.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
collector's
So
edition is going for 1,600. So everyone that's like, no, games are going digital, no one cares about physical. The market doesn't yet. That's not today. Um, here's one that like I want to share real quick. Oh, okay. Jason, if you got a roll, that's all good, man. You got peace out. We're almost done. This game is it's on. There's a beta right now, or you can sign up for the beta. But Stormgate, it's a crowdfund or it's being crowdfunded right now on that website for fuck, I can't remember. But it's a basic combination of StarCraft and like a little RPG and a little World of Warcraft, but it's coming out next year. I actually signed up to back the project, and they have a collector's edition. Something you may want to think about if you're trying to see how video games are kind of being a collectible. But either way, let's do the giveaway. Just as thank you everyone. Again, it's a slab, so if you guys want in, just let me know. I think I have everyone's name here that stayed throughout the whole show. If you're not on here and you want to be put on the giveaway, just let me know. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. Otherwise, we'll do that and we'll let Jason. I know Jason, you got to take off, so if you just need to bounce out, it's all good, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See
out, dude.
everybody next time. See you.
See ya. Good luck.
yo, I bought that Ed Pisker. What's his name? Ed Pisker X-Men Grand Design.
Huh?
You know Ed Pisker? He did
No.
the Red Room comics.
I don't know. Oh shit. Oh, easy. Aaron, you won. Holy cow. Oh wait. Oh shit. Well, sorry, I couldn't get you in there. My bad. Easy. I think I got your address somewhere. Fedora, what book did you get? Ed, what?
X-Men Grand Design by
Oh,
Ed
X-Men
Pisker.
Grand Design. Okay, is it good?
I like the art.
Cool.
I mean, it's just retellings of the stories, but just Ed Pisker just redrew them.
Oh shit! I didn't throw you in, Commander Cody. My bad. Here, Yeezy, I'm still gonna give you. I'm gonna remove. I'll do one more for everyone, Cody, and then. But Yeezy, hit me up, and then who else did I forget? E2. I got some new stuff. I can throw in some stuff. Okay, we'll do one more.
Hi, nice to see you.
Whoa, Buddy Guy Murph, congrats, you guys! You basically, wow, nice. I'll send you some books as well, man. Just hit me up on Instagram and give me your address, and Easy, give me your address too. I think I have it somewhere, but it'd be just easier if you just gave it to me.
I got you.
Cool, man. Well, that's the show for today. Again, I want to thank everyone for supporting us. We almost went 2 hours today. Went a little further than expected, but I hope you guys got a lot out of the show today as far as deciding what to sub, if you're going to flip, invest, whatever. It's just really expensive to sub stuff, and it's hard to get sub grade at 9.8. But
also,
Fedora, go ahead.
Go Loser Ranger. You should read it. I think you would enjoy it.
Cool.
You like Power Rangers, right?
No.
You don't like Power Rangers? You like the boys, right?
That's okay.
Really? So you don't like Power Rangers or the boys?
I was like too old to watch Power Rangers when it came out, so I never gravitated toward the comic book. Hey man, I can't do everything.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Anyways, Go Loser Ranger is like the Power Rangers meets the boys.
Cool. And Miles variants.
And it's
great. I don't hate them. I never, whatever. Hey man, thanks Comic Collector. I appreciate you guys. We're done with the show today. I'm up 600 points on my fantasy league, and Shohei Ohtani is out of the AL. I'm happy.
I gotta go get on the train now.
Okay, we'll let you go. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.
Before you leave, anybody, if y'all want to talk comics, message me, hit me up on the Instagram at Fedora Kong. Disclaimer: I do not flip or sell books. Just remember that. And let's talk comics, bro. Like, message me. Henry messaged me, followed me, and he was like, "Hey, you're a cool dude." I always respond to like my homies. I'm always down to talk about comics. If you're ever in the New York City area, hit me up. We could get some coffee and talk comics. We could go around the city, hang out. Let's be friends.
Because
this isn't a community without us.
That's right. All right. Have a good day.
All right.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.